Stadium, where tonight Steubenville Big Red will play host to Akron Buchtel in round one of the Ohio High School football playoffs. I'm Bill Phillips along with the coach Anthony Pirro, and we are just about ready for kickoff. Ian Phillips will kick it off for Steubenville Big Red. Big Red won the toss and deferred to the second half. And coach, you want to talk about a matchup of heavyweights. This is it in the first round. A lot of people think this is the best first round matchup anywhere in the state.
Absolutely. It's a good old-fashioned hardball football right here. These two teams met many times.
End over end kickoff comes down at the 20-yard line, fielded by Tavion Johnson.
Nice play.
And he is taken down at the 20-yard line. And Big Red will set up defense and Akron Buchtel offense from their own 20.
That's a good job starting them on their own 20 there. Can't ask for nothing more than that.
Coach, Akron Buchtel, what are we looking for them from their offensive formations, what they're going to try and attack Big Red with?
Well, they're a spread team. You know, basically a one-back out of the gun. Right here, they're in two-back out of the gun. You know, their quarterback's their horse. You got to look for the quarterback to run the ball, pass the ball. He's a threat. You got to stop their heart, and he's the heart.
Michael Leno, number 5 for Akron Buchtel, calls the signals, takes a low snap, getting some pressure, and he's going to be taken down at the 15-yard line. There's about 8 flags down on the field, so we'll have to see if it was an offside, motion, holding. May have a bunch of everything.
Right. Big Red brought guys off of both edges. They're going to present a whole bunch of heat. Akron Buchtel's probably never seen this much heat. Coach Phillips is going to turn it up as hot as he can turn it. Thank you.
Trying to figure out exactly what Big Red wants to do. If Reno Suckosh wants to decline, take the penalty. Legal formation, that's declined. So Big Red will take the sack, and it'll be second down and 15 for Akron Buchtel. They have twin wide receivers on both sides of the field.
Yep, the receivers are stacked on both sides, and the running back is stacked behind the quarterback.
Leno hands off to the middle, nothing doing there. On the handoff is Leno, the carry, number 29, Robert Young-Jones, and he is stopped after little to no gain.
Yeah, he probably lost a yard or two.
Here's a look at our Saturday Night Rivals offensive starting lineup. Bordas and Bordas. It's Keene, Johnson, Young-Jones, Powers, Leno, Foster, Thompson, Crawford, Johnson, Wilson, Jacobson, Dowdy Jr. The offense for the Griffins of Akron Buchtel.
Buchtel's 3-by-1 here, 3 receivers to one side.
Leno runs near side, more pressure.
Oh, yeah.
And that is Josiah Blackwell coming up with the sack for Steubenville Big Red. And suddenly Akron Buchtel is back to their 5-yard line. So in 3 plays, Akron Buchtel loses 15 yards of field position, and it'll bring up a 4th and long. And Ethan Duggan will head out to about the 41-yard line of Akron Buchtel, and that's where he'll look to field a punt.
Blackwell did a great job here. You know, athlete versus athlete. He's fast. He's quick. He got to him. He gave the quarterback no chance to. Big Red's going to start with great field position here. If I'm Brother Joe, I'm going for the block here. Don't turn it down. Let's go.
Dylan West in the end zone punting, and a good end-over-end kick will come down to Duggan. He'll take it at the 41. And he will be stopped immediately and thrown back at the 45-yard line. Ball will be spotted down at the 41, and that's where Steubenville Big Red will take over. Good coverage from Akron Buchtel as Duggan, no gain on the return.
36-yard punt.
Can't ask more from your defense from that. They put them back 15 yards from where they started and gave their offense a great field position.
Big Red 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
Big Red started out in an unbalanced and shifted over to the unbalanced to the other side. Buchtel knows they got to stop the run. They got about 8 guys up at the line of scrimmage.
Tavion Crawford, he's straight ahead for about 8 yards on 1st down. And Crawford, coach, this year, 1,414 yards, 909 yards in the final 4 weeks as we take a look at the offense.
He's an
Steubenville Big Red.
He's an X factor.
Clayton Chris, your quarterback, number 16. Good offensive line, solid through and through on that offense. especially when it comes to running the football.
Big Red's unbounds to the right and come to the two-man side.
Crawford into the secondary and down across the 25-yard line. Clayton Chris, the quarterback, a solid season, passing 62% of his passes completed, 868 yards, 8 touchdowns, and we take a look at the Griffins defense. Williams, Jacobs, Tatum, Foster, Good, Fox, Johnson,
Big
Jackson.
Red's going on the quick. They're barely huddling up, not letting Buchtel have any chance to gather themselves.
Koski in at fullback, and he's going to take the handoff, and he's going to be straight ahead for about 5 yards on first down, and that's a win, Coach.
Absolutely. Absolutely, that's a win. That was a quick little trap play.
They talk about the offensive line. Caleb Brown, Emmanuel Ware.
They have improved every week.
Gabrielli, Boley, and Holmes.
Big Red's unbounds to the right, shifting to unbounds to the left. Little counter trade play.
Not much there for Crawford on second down. He's stacked up and pushed back. And Big Red coaching staff on the sideline signaling for the offense to hurry it up, make it quick on third down. Third down and 6 from the 20. First quarter play.
Big Red's in 2 tight ends with a gun with 2 setbacks. Flaring out a quarterback. Oh, he's open.
Looking for Lula across the middle. He has him. It's off his hands. Clayton Chris, they've run that pass for a number of touchdowns this year, Lula and Chris, and that one just a bit too high as we take another look at it, Coach.
Okay, Big Red crossed both tight ends. Tight ends are the hardest guys to guard. They get mixed up in there, and they cross both tight ends across the field, and hopefully the coverage would blow there. It was just off by an inch.
Fourth down and 6 from the Buchtel 20-yard line. Randy Mitchell in now wearing number 7 at quarterback.
Little wildcat.
And Mitchell is going to keep. He's going to look to get outside, and he is going to have a first down, and a helmet went flying across the field. And it looks like Randy Mitchell's helmet came off and rolled all the way out of bounds at about the 4-yard line. And he has enough for the first down. So he had to come out of the game anyways to get the helmet back on. But he picks up a big first down.
Randy better tighten it up a little bit, that helmet. Big Red's in a stack I. 2 tight ends with 3 running backs in a stack.
Koski, and we are going to have a penalty, and this is going to go against Big Red, I believe, motion penalty.
Yeah, I think the left tackle kind of jerked there. Left offensive tackle. You hate to see that happen down here in the red zone.
So ball moves back to just about the 19-yard line. They're going to call it officially probably the 18. But inside the 19-yard line for Steubenville Big Red. First and 15.
Big Red's in there on bounds to the left.
Crawford and I formation. Clayton Chris turns, hands, hole, Crawford 5. And he is down at about the 4-yard line as he splits defense. Good job up front blocking, Coach, and you just can't talk enough about this offensive line. Should we take another look?
Absolutely. They were unbounds to the left, and they went to the 2-man side, and they ran power. Buchtel's kicking to the unbound side, which gives them a man short to the 2-man side.
Crawford down to the 2-yard line, leads for a touchdown, Big Red.
It's a good way to start it off. Defense stops them, gives the offense a great field position. The offense gets it on 4th down and ends up finishing with a touchdown.
Extra point to be attempted by Ian Phillips. Clayton Chris will do the snapping. Ethan Duggan will hold. Ball will be spotted at the 10-yard line for Phillips. 7:10 to go in the first quarter. Big Red looking for that extra point. Snap is good, spots down, kick is up, and it is good. And Big Red has grabbed an early 7-0 lead on a Tavion Crawford touchdown. Big Red leads it on the WMC Saturday Night Rival scoreboard 7-0. We're back from Harding Stadium with more right after this. And welcome back to our game of the week. As we mentioned on the WMC Saturday Night Rivals scoreboard at 7-0. Big Red on top. They go in with Tavion Crawford, who's had a sensational season this year. And the extra point added, and they're up 7-0. And, Coach, you talked about the fourth down call with Randy Mitchell coming in. How big a play? Can you put that into words, how big that is to pick that up?
That was huge. You know, Randy had a lot of extra effort there at the, you know, it was real close, and he kept his legs driving and got the first down. You know, they bent the edge. Big Red bent the short side of, you know, when I say unbalanced is like 4 linemen to one side, 2 to the other. And they went to the, you know, to the 2 side. Most of the time people run inside to the long side, the 4-man side, and outside to the short side.
Wiley and Johnson back deep. End over and kicks, going to come down at the 20-yard line, bounces, stays in bound. Jacobs picks it up. He's at the 15-yard line. He's going to be taken down there. And Big Red will set Akron Buchtel back. And Buchtel, I noticed they set their 2 deep men in almost an I formation in the middle of the field, opening up those sides for the Big Red kicker.
Right. I think Buchtel felt that Big Red was kicking away from somebody, so they didn't designate him. Starting on the 15 is great. You can't ask for more than that.
So Akron Buchtel takes over 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. And, Coach, you mentioned the first drive, Coach Philtz, defensive coordinator, really dialed up the heat.
Yes, he did. He's going to dial it up all night.
Leno, quarterback, wearing number 5. He is flanked by Young Jones, number 29. Swings it outside. Pass completed. Short gain. Out to about the 20-yard line. That is number 1, Chase Powers.
Buchtel adjusted to the heat and figured we better get it out quick. They actually put 3 receivers to the short side of the field and threw a little screen play here.
We take a look at the Big Red starters. Akron Buchtel not going to give you much of a look because they want to hurry it up now as they set 3 receivers to the near side of the field. Leno is going to keep. He's out to the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd and about 5 for Akron Buchtel.
He's the guy you got to stop. Buchtel's 3-by-1 here.
Michael Leno, number 5, quarterback, 6'1", 205 pounds. He'll move Young Jones behind him.
Yeah, we call that pistol gun.
Trips to the near side of the field. Big Red showing blitz. Back out of it. They wait. Leno's going to keep. Lula to the corner. The rest of the gang to the corner. And Big Red will stop Leno after a short, perhaps 1-yard gain. It'll bring up 4th and long for Akron Buchtel.
Akron Buchtel was run sideways here. As long as the defense is pushing the offense sideways, they're not gaining anything.
Josiah Blackwell from the backside. It looked like he was shot out of a cannon coming down the line of scrimmage.
Oh, yeah. He's a player.
Ethan Duggan back at about midfield as Dylan West, number 30, will punt for Akron Buchtel. Just a sophomore, Dylan West. Watching him in warmups. Nice leg, both kicking and punting. Bad snap, ball's on the ground. That's going to be trouble. He's going to run, and he's going to have the first down. So a break for Akron Buchtel. It looked like it was going to be a break for Big Red. Dylan West doesn't panic, scoops it up, and manages to pick up the first down, and Akron Buchtel keeps the football.
In '86, when we played Akron Buchtel, their head coach, Ricky Powers, was the tailback. He ended up going to Michigan. We'd stop him, and then he'd bust him. That's Akron Buchtel. Akron Buchtel is not going to get frustrated. They know that they got big plays coming.
So it brings up 1st and 10 now at the 29-yard line for Buchtel. Trips to the near side. Johnson, Keene, and Powers all to the near side. Powers inside, steps back. He's going to take the pass at about the 24-yard line. He'll get across the 30. Flag on the play.
Mitchell did a nice job getting off of his block right there and making that play.
Sideline warning against Steubenville Big Red. So no penalty in terms of yardage or anything, just a warning against Steubenville Big Red sideline. So bring up 2nd down and 7 for Buchtel.
Buchtel still has 3 receivers to the short side of the field.
Foster to the far side, and Leno looks that way, swings it out, and it is incomplete. Intended receiver was Young Jones, number 29, Eric Lula. Gives a little kiss.
Oh, yeah.
A little kiss, let him know he's there.
Absolutely.
I actually think Eric Lula hasn't met another player that he doesn't want to hit.
Yeah.
I mean, 92 tackles this year. Had a sensational senior season.
Lula likes to hit people. That's why he's the middle linebacker.
All right, offensive line up at the line of scrimmage. Conference for the receivers, and they're going to split Powers and Foster to the far side, and to the near side, that's going to be Keene and Johnson. Big Red showing blitz again. Leno steps up, looks outside, incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down and long, 4th and 7 from the 31 of Akron Buchtel.
He had a receiver open here. If he could have made the throw, but he had too much pressure to make a good throw.
So Ethan Duggan back in to return the punt. He is set up now at his own 37-yard line. Dylan West will set up shop at about the 18 for Akron Buchtel.
Blackwell got to stay outside this. If he was that same end on the last punt, he must have dipped inside because there was no contained player out there.
Snap back, kick away. High kick, fair catch called for and taken, and then everybody wants a flag.
That's a hug.
Like little kiss.
That's a hug.
All right, WMC Saturday Night Rivals. It's 7-0. Big Red. 7-0 on the WMC Saturday Night Rivals scoreboard. It's the Bordas and Bordas game of the week. Back with more right after this. And welcome back to Harding Stadium, everybody. Bill Phillips along with the coach, Anthony Pirro. It is 1st and 10 for Big Red in the first quarter with 4:45 to go. And it is Big Red on the ground again. Tavion Crawford out close to midfield before he is stopped. And Big Red leads this one 7-0 after Tavion Crawford touchdown on their first possession of the ball game. There's an extra man on the field, so this is a free play for Big Red. Crawford across midfield, and he'll be taken down at about the 48. But Big Red is going to get 15 because they had an extra man on the field.
Right, right. Big Red's going, no huddle. Very fast offense. Buchtel tried to substitute and got caught.
Coach, how important is it for Big Red if they can go down and get more points on this drive? It's the first quarter. All of a sudden, you're Buchtel, you're in the hole, you're on the road, and Big Red's putting it to you on the run.
It definitely is to Big Red's advantage. I'm sure Buchtel's not going to back down from it. They've played a hell of a schedule this year, and they're used to being in this type of situation. They'll adjust.
Stack eye for Big Red. Crawford dots that eye as you could look at him looking into the secondary. Koski goes in motion.
Little play action. He's wide open.
Koski and Clayton Chris misses him down the sideline.
Ooh, good play calling right there. It was the right choice. Just a bad pass.
Good play, good read. Everything was right. Just pass a little overthrown.
Play action is the best pass protection there is. That's why the pros still use it. It kind of freezes everybody.
So bring up 2nd down and 10 for Big Red. Ball at the 48-yard line. Crawford, big hole into the secondary. One-on-one, makes a man miss. Hurls a man, stays in bounds. Crawford's going to go the distance. Touchdown, Big Red.
Nice play. Big Red was in an end-over formation, so they had three linemen to one side with 2 receivers and just ran a good old-fashioned end-over sweep. They had him with numbers, and Crawford made the first guy miss.
Take a look at it here, Coach, and it just, what a hole. Koski just buries his man on the outside.
Absolutely. Nico had a great block right there.
Ian Phillips on to attempt the extra point. Clayton Chris, Ethan Duggan with the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. We'll take a timeout. It is the Bordas and Bordas Saturday Night Rivals game of the week. 14-0 Big Red at Harding Stadium. And welcome back to Harding Stadium, everybody. 3:57 to go in the first quarter. Bill Phillips along with Coach Anthony Pirro. We'll take another look at it on the replay here from the end zone.
Big Red was guard, tackle, tight end with 2 receivers out there, an end-over formation. They had Buchtel out-flanked. Crawford made a nice play right there. He's a strong kid, man.
He is in the end zone for the touchdown, and it is now 14-0. Big Red on top. Ian Phillips to kick the ball off. And back deep, Deshaun Wiley, number 4. He's going to move up to his 15. Number 7, Tavion Johnson, is standing at the 18-yard line. They're both shading to the near side of the field. No one back deep to the far side of the field. End over end kick coming down, and it is bounces out of one hand and into another, and it's going to be returned out to about the 30-yard line.
Nice tackle by Doney right there. That kid had a little bit of space right there. Doney closed in on him and made a nice open field tackle.
And a fortunate play for Akron Buchtel, because Jacobs went back, hit off his hands, and then it lands into the hands of Deshaun Wiley. Akron Buchtel 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Akron Buchtel's in a 3-by-1 formation, 3 receivers to the field, shotgun.
Swing it outside to Powers. He takes it at the 25, makes a man miss into the secondary. Randy Mitchell comes across, makes the stop at about the 42. Powers falls out to about the 45, 44-yard line is where it'll be spotted. And that looks like it'll be the answer to that pressure, Coach.
Absolutely.
A quick pass game.
Right. Mitchell was there to make the play. He kind of put his head down. You can't make a kill shot in open field. You got to just capture him in the open field. Make a nice little chest tackle. 3-by-1 again. Akron Buchtel.
Foster to the far side of the field. Powers to the near side. Handoff goes to Young Jones, and he's going to be taken down by Quadri Williams, who has just been a sensational player for Big Red while he's been here.
Absolutely. 3 years. He started as a sophomore. There's not many players that start for Big Red as a sophomore. He's one of them.
Foster this time will come to the near side. He wears number 13. Trips to the far side of the field. Lula's going to come, swing it outside. Flag on the play, and it's going to be a stop after a short gain, maybe a yard. I think this one's going to come back, Coach. A hold against Akron Buchtel. Pass completed out to Tavion Johnson. And how dangerous is this? Just take, you have a team, they're just trying to get the ball going at short passes, then they go for that long one. Can you lull a defense to sleep doing that?
Absolutely. You can put them to sleep, especially if they're gaining yards on them little short passes, because then the secondary's feeling a little pressure. They got to come up and make plays, They just got to stay disciplined and don't give up. You want to make Akron Buchtel what we used to call die slowly. It's okay if they march a little bit. It's okay. Don't give them the big play. They're a big play team. They're in quads right now, which is 2 receivers to both sides.
Lula. He's going to come up the middle, pressure up the middle. Quadri Williams.
Got him.
He's not getting away from Quadri Williams. He's going to throw him down. Leno tried his best, but he couldn't do it.
No, if Quadri touches you, he tackles you. He's got strong hands. It's 3rd and forever now. These sometimes are the hardest downs.
3rd down and 21 from the 24-yard line. 29. Well, the ball's listed on the 29. It's actually the 25-yard line.
I'm shocked Buchtel's not using Leno as much as, he's throwing it around. He's not really running it. But he really doesn't have a chance to run it, to be honest with you.
Keene and Johnson to the near side. Foster and Powers to the far side. Off of the corner, Lula. And he gets him. Eric Lula with the sack. Back-to-back sacks from Big Red. The ball all the way back now to the Buchtel 15-yard line. And so far, Leno at quarterback. Mike Leno is taking a beating, Coach.
Yes, sir. Lula timed that blitz up perfect. You know, some kids, it's something you can't teach. You got to teach that timing, and he had that timing down right, and he went right by the guy that was supposed to block him. And I don't even think this quarterback seen him until he had his arms around his neck. Big Red's going to get good field position again here.
Ethan Duggan standing at midfield. Flag on the play and a delay of game now.
Delay of game on
Akron Buchtel.
I'll be darned. They're good. They're getting shook up here.
Ball moved back to the 10-yard line. Dylan West now in the end zone to punt the football out. Number 30 for Akron Buchtel. Keene, the far wing.
Todd Fields is doing a great job, man. He's got them all. He's got Buchtel's offense looking
Short
around.
Kick. And Big Red's just going to get away from it, let it roll, and they're going to get great field position regardless.
Yep,
They'll
right
get
on
it
the
right
50.
at the midfield stripe at the 50-yard line, and that's where they will take over with 47.8 seconds to go in the first quarter of play.
Buchtel was lucky they got a good roll right there. I got a message from Mr. and Mrs. Earl T. Cramlett from their great-grandson, Mason Richard, in Largo, Florida. He says he loves you and misses you.
All right.
My man, May.
Yeah. First and 10 for Big Red from the 50-yard line. Long count from Clayton Chris. Handoff. Tavion Crawford. Crawford running like
He's
a man
gone.
possessed. He gets a block. He's to the outside. It's a foot race. Stutter step goes out of
Nice
bounds
job.
at the 15-yard line.
Nice job. Nice job right there. Tavion Crawford is a true blue eye running back. He wants to line up 7 yards from the line of scrimmage and see it all. Get it going.
Coach, if there's any scouts from colleges around, he's just a junior.
He's just a junior. He's just a junior, and he has what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm. We get a good look at it here, right up the middle. Makes a man miss.
Right
breaks
there.
the tackle.
There's strength right there. Got them legs kicking. Made
Good
another
block.
guy miss.
Randy Mitchell comes down,
Yes,
gets a block.
Randy.
He lost control of the ball there. But great run.
Tay's left-handed. He likes to keep that ball in his left hand. And plus, I think something's wrong with his right hand knuckle or something like that. So he keeps it in his strong hand a lot.
First and goal for Big Red, and we are in the pink zone. WMC Breast Care Team, pink zone. Pitch outside, and that is, well, flag on the play. Comes in late.
Bigger was in two tight ends with
Joe Brown on the carry.
With a wing on the right.
Holding against Big Red.
That was awfully quick call for a holding call.
David Tuttle and Quadri Williams will check out of the ball game. Checking in Ethan Duggan and Ryan Roush.
Buchtel got a couple big horses as defensive tackles, and I think what Big Red's trying to do is make them run, and then run right at them when they're winded.
Roush will split far side of the field. Duggan will go in motion that way. I formation, Koski in front of Crawford. Hand off Crawford, straight ahead. He's going to go into the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
A hat trick for Tavion Crawford in the first quarter. It is 20.2 seconds left on the clock in the first quarter, and Big Red is up 20-0.
That was great offensive line blocking, man. He didn't get touched until he was about 10 yards in. They had a hat on a hat. They had a good job. There was a nice seam in there.
Take another look at it here. Crawford, handoff, and it just opens up. Great blocking. That offensive line doing a job. Great balance from Crawford there. And he's in for the touchdown.
Crawford's got real nice big calves, big thighs.
Clayton Chris to snap. Ethan Duggan to hold. Ian Phillips to attempt the extra point. Snap is high. It's down, and it's blocked.
That came through like B-cap, which is in between the second and third lineman. That looked like that came through.
Locked extra point, so it'll remain 20-0. Big Red on top. As we take another look at the Crawford touchdown run right up the middle, and he is going to get into the end zone.
That was just your typical what Big Red calls their kick play. Instead of pulling the backside guard and tackle, they pull the backside guard and bring the fullback up through. Everybody on the play side's blocking down. They're kicking the edge and leading the fullback up through.
Looks like Buchtel still a bit confused as to what they want to do on their kick return. Right now, they have Johnson at the 20-yard line, along with Wiley. And Johnson shading to the middle, Wiley to the near sideline. Then Foster is waving at Johnson to move him over to the near side.
Yeah, they don't know which side Ian's going to kick. Ian can put the ball anywhere you want him to put it at. He's going to the other side this time.
And it'll go out of bounds as no one fields it. It bounces out of bounds, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Buchtel at the 35-yard line, I believe.
Yep.
Motion penalty against Big Red. And Buchtel's going to turn that down. That's the only problem. You have so much room over there. You put the ball down. If it rolls, no one's there to scoop it up.
Plus, Ian's left-footed. You know, that's kind of, you got to really kind of swing it when you're trying to left-foot it and then kick it across your body like that.
19.8 seconds to go in the first quarter of play. Big Red up 20-0 over Akron Buchtel. Pressure, screen. That's going to be complete, and that's going to go for big yards. It would have gone for bigger yards if the receiver had kept his feet. That's Orell Williams, number 3, and he had an opportunity for a real big gain, but lost his footing and went down. But he picks up the first down as the clock moves down to close to 10 seconds. They'll wind it, and this may be the final play of the first quarter if they get it off.
When you have an aggressive defense that's blitzing all the time, you always got to practice screens, even if the other team doesn't run them. You know, in your scouting report, you have to pray. That's the answer to a lot of pressure.
On the WMC Saturday Night Rivals scoreboard, it is Steubenville Big Red 20, Akron Buchtel, the Griffins nothing. After one quarter of play, we're back with more from the Bordas and Bordas Game of the Week after this.
The Bordas and Bordas Saturday Night Rivals on WTOV9 is brought to you by West Liberty University, Hancock County Auto, Ohio Valley Medical Center and East Ohio Regional Hospital, and Casey and Chapman, attorneys at law.
And welcome back to the Bordas and Bordas Saturday Night Rivals Game of the Week. And we've got a motion penalty against Akron Buchtel. Looked like the guard may have fallen backwards on his heels.
Yep, Big Red stemmed on him. It was good timing with the stem also. It made them jump. Buchtel's in a 3-by-1 formation. 3 receivers to the wide side of the field, 1 to the short side. Quarterback and Gunny's getting a call from the sidelines. They're looking over there. A lot of times you can tell what they're running by the one back's depth.
Leno looks outside quickly, gets it to Powers. So he runs a little bit of a slant pattern, and he's knocked down at about the 44-yard line of Steubenville Big Red. It'll bring up 3rd and about 3. And Akron Buchtel up to the line quickly, Coach. They'll set 3 receivers to the far side. Foster, the lone receiver, to the near side. Powers closest to the line of scrimmage of the offensive lineman. And he's going to look outside to Powers again.
Powers,
big hit.
This Powers is the head coach's son, is Ricky Powers' son. I think he's a freshman. And no, he's a senior. And Big Red's playing off. You know, they're presenting pressure, but they're playing off with their secondary. So whoever's calling Buchtel's plays is adjusting to it well. They're just dumping it off.
Tuttle off the corner, block outside. Free run into the secondary, and that is number 2, Keene. Zaire Keene.
The corner to the short side field did a nice job. As the corner to the, you don't ever want to dip in because there's nobody outside you. So he forced it in. He needed some pursuit to come to help him.
Akron Buchtel on a march.
Buchtel's got the three receivers to the short side of the field here. Throwing a fade into the corner end zone. Touch.
And it is a touchdown. No.
Yeah, one referee called it a touchdown, the other one didn't. I think it was a touchdown. I think he had it when he crossed the plane. You know, I'm sure we're going to see an instant replay on it.
Call stands. Touchdown, Akron Buchtel.
Yeah, I thought he had it long enough through there because the ball just has to break the plane.
Leno finds Foster and...
Yeah, that was a touch.
Dylan West on to attempt the extra point for Akron Buchtel. Snap is good. Spots down, kick is up, and it is good.
Well,
we'll take a timeout. It's the Bordas and Bordas Saturday Night Rivals game of the week. Steubenville Big Red 20, Akron Buchtel 7, second quarter action. And welcome back as you take a look at the WMC Saturday Night Rivals scoreboard. Big Red on top 20-7 in the second quarter from Harding Stadium. I'm Bill Phillips along with the coach, Anthony Pirro. There is 10:56 left to go in the first half of play. Second quarter action now as Big Red will return their first kickoff of the night. Akron Buchtel getting the touchdown from Michael Leno to Marquest Foster. End over end kick is going to come down. It's going to be taken at the 13-yard line. And that is returned out to the 32-yard line.
Great second effort. Great second effort by that running back. He got about 5 yards on his own. Joe Brown got about 5 yards on just effort.
So Big Red will take over first and 10 from their own 32-yard line. And Coach, your Big Red, you had the 20-0 lead. Momentum's going. Give up that first touchdown. What does the offense need to do here to respond?
The offense just needs to do what they've been doing because it's been working very well. It probably wouldn't have mattered where they were on the field. Keep running the ball at them.
Pitch to Crawford. Has some blockers out in front. And he's going to lean forward across the 35-yard line out to the 36.
That was a great first down right there. 5-yard gain right there. You know, you're seeing a lot of red shirts coming at us without a lot of white, so they had them outnumbered.
Aaron Spooney, number 8, came up, got a part of that hit. He looked to be a little bit shaken up, getting back up as Crawford spins his way down close to first down yardage at the 42-yard line.
Tay got run a little bit lower right there. He's exposing his body and exposing the ball. You got, you know, give him his head and their shoulders. Protect that body and protect that ball.
They give him the first down. So back-to-back runs from Tavion Crawford. Good for 10 yards and a first down. Stone Biacco goes in motion. Handoff goes to Crawford, and he is stopped in the backfield. Coming through, number 26. That is Michael Jackson III.
They just kind of bent the edge right there, the defense, and snuck behind all the blocking.
Must not be leaning on the rail and must be in your seat.
I hope Mrs. Lamanti is taking care of my wife and her son down there at Graffiti's. Big Red started out in an unbounce to the left, shift to the unbounce to the right, and run a quick little trap play inside.
Koski straight ahead for a couple of yards. He's out across the original line of scrimmage. And it'll bring up third down and a long 7, close to 8 yards.
You know, that play, the trap play, is the most dangerous play. There years and years ago, we scrimmaged Camp McKinley, and Coach Reno called that play about 20 times and ate Camp McKinley alive with it.
Jorian Jones, Ethan Duggan, and now we've got a flag on the field.
I think
call timeout.
Yeah, I think Steubenville had. I think Steubenville had 12 guys on the field.
I think so, too. All right, you're down in the offensive huddle for Big Red. What's being discussed?
Well, it's 3rd and about 8 right here. You know, the defense is really thinking about, you know, they got to know where the chains are at, and you're telling the offense, like, this is a perfect situation to go on a longer count. So you're telling everybody, hey, concentrate, maybe get a cheap 5 in it to make a 3rd down more manageable.
And if you're Akron Buchtel, what are you looking for? Are you going to put pressure? Are you going to look for the pass?
Akron Buchtel, I'm telling my kids to get a yard off the ball, so that way that helps them from giving them a cheap 5 yards. And I'm telling them know where the chains are at. You know, you got, as a defensive back, you got to know where the chains are at, because they're going to run routes right close to those chains, a little bit past those chains.
Well, here on 3rd down, Randy Mitchell, number 7, into the ball game at quarterback. Ryan Roush and Stone Biacco to the near side of the field. Jorian Jones, Ethan Duggan to the far side of the field. Mitchell and Crawford in the backfield as Biacco goes in motion. Mitchell will run that way, finds the seam, flags on the play, probably going to be a hold. And Mitchell finally down at the 48-yard line. Motion penalty against Big Red.
Well, you know, when you got a different guy calling the signals, you know, your offensive line and everybody, they get used to the same guy calling the signal, because everybody has their own little rhythm. Randy maybe wasn't as loud, maybe wasn't in the same rhythm, and somebody jumped.
Illegal formation against Steubenville Big Red, and that will set them back. So big chunk of yardage lost on that penalty.
That one hurt. That one hurt. You know, right now, you know, you got to remember, punting the ball is a successful thing. You know what I mean? Don't do nothing crazy here where you're going to give Buchtel the ball in good field position. You know, get a little bit, punt the ball, let's play some ball. You're winning the game. A little bit of game management right here. You know, this is usually like a screen down right here.
Roush and Duggan to the near side. Mitchell and Crawford in the backfield. Biacco goes in motion for Big Red. Mitchell fakes the handoff to no one. Steps up in. Now we have a flag on the play. Mitchell out to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like something was wrong with that play. Randy stuck the ball out like he wanted to fake the ball to somebody, but they weren't coming.
Holding against Steubenville Big Red. Now, do you decline it, Coach, and you force him to punt here?
Absolutely. Or? Yes.
He's saying put him back some more.
Nah. I never want to give. I personally don't like giving downs. You know, if we're on defense, I like taking the down. Why give him another shot?
Ricky Powers, head coach of Akron Buchtel, and
Ricky Powers is a good man. Good man. He sticks with these kids.
Reno Suckach said he was one of the best players, had nothing but respect for him as a player, and now as a coach thinks he's doing an outstanding job at Akron Buchtel.
Absolutely.
Duggan goes in motion. Mitchell looking outside, finding Roush out at about the 30-yard line. Pickup of about 5 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down and send the punting unit in for Steubenville Big Red.
It's best to play Akron Buchtel early in the year because as the season goes on, they just keep getting better and better and better, and that's a sign of a good coach.
And Buchtel burns the timeout as Big Red comes out with a trips formation. We will take a timeout, come back with more from Harding Stadium right after this. 20-7. Big Red leads it with 8:11 to go in the second quarter.
Getting old, Lombardo.
And welcome back to Harding Stadium. Bill Phillips along with the coach, Anthony Pirro. Big Red on top, 20-7. 8:11 to go in the first half of play, second quarter. Ian Phillips on to punt for Steubenville Big Red. Back deep for Akron Buchtel sophomore Martavion Johnson, number 7.
Ian's got to kick it away from this kid. Kick it to the sideline, kick it out of bounds.
End over end kick, and it's going to get a Big Red roll.
That's that left-footed roll. I don't understand it.
but it works.
But them left footers who punt the ball, they get that roll. My brother Joe was like that. He was a punter, left-footed. Them left-footers, my son Anthony, he was right-handed, but punted left-footed. They get that roll. Them left-footers get that roll.
Your brother Joe talking with Steubenville Big Red punter Ian Phillips and letting him know, got to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker. Almost got blocked. But you take the result of that one.
Absolutely.
Live to fight another day.
Brother Joe, he's stingy. Buchtel's 3-by-1 here on offense with a sidecar to the quarterback's right.
On the Bordas and Bordas score bar, 7:57 to go, 20-7. Big Red on top. Buchtel ball, 1st and 10 from their own 30. Pass completed to Powers. He is tripped up and taken down after about an 8-yard gain.
You know, Buchtel figured it out. Just quick little fight. Big Red secondary got tightened up a little bit.
Leno to run, steps back in the center and have the 1st down out across the 40-yard line.
Buchtel's got a little no-huddle offense going now. They put it into a fast pace.
Jorian Jones with Foster here to the near side. There's a look at Leno in the backfield. Tuttle and Lula at linebacker. They swing it outside, and it's going to go for about 4 yards. Pass completed to Johnson, Martavian Johnson, number 7.
That's okay. Like I said, die slowly. Just keep putting them back in the huddle. Don't give them a big play.
2nd down and 6 from the 46-yard line of Akron Buchtel. Lula's going to come. Pressure from the outside.
Deep.
He is open and overthrown. What a throw from Leno.
Yep, he seen that. Leno seen the blitz, that little play action that froze everybody for a split second.
Johnson, the intended receiver, overthrown by about 5 yards. That ball was up there, a spiral. I mean, and he took a shot to the quad when he let it go, showing off a big arm.
The receiver kind of did a little stop and go, which lost the DB there.
3rd and 6 from the 46-yard line for Akron Buchtel, the Griffins.
You know, when you're presenting that much pressure and the corner knows what's going on, you're expecting the ball to come out quick.
Leno looking to run now as he runs out of time, and he'll be taken down at about the 47-yard line. Maybe spot him out closer to the 48. And it'll bring up 4th down and a decision for Ricky Powers. Leno telling his coach, let's go for it. Or if you're Ricky Powers, you say, you know what? We got on the scoreboard.
Right.
Got something going. Flip the field.
Right. I like playing the field position game. It's it's not
still early.
Still early. You know, you give the ball to Big Red right here. I mean, look what happened the first 3 times they gave him the ball in this type of field position.
Leno, he's going to be taken down back at about 40-yard line. And look at the defensive coordinator. Coach Phillips pumped up on the sideline, and why not? Calls
Absolutely.
for the heat and gets it, Coach.
Oh, yeah. That was a great call by Todd. Quadri Williams did a great job bringing about 4 guys to the 2-man side. They can't block them.
And Big Red will take over 1st and 10 from the Buchtel 42-yard line.
That was I don't like that coaching call by Coach Powers right there.
Timeout called by the Griffins of Akron Buchtel. And with 6:21 to go, Coach, everybody's going to talk it over.
Oh, yeah. Big Red can punch one in right here. Whew. It'd be nice. You know, Big Red came out into a three running back lineup right there. And in my opinion, they better looking for a play action bomb.
All right, watch your vote count. How about this? Watch your vote count all day on Tuesday, November 6th, as the News 9 team brings you election coverage from across Ohio and West Virginia. For election coverage you need to know, News 9 is everywhere you go, and already a lot of pre-voting being done across the country and in the states of Ohio and West Virginia. So a lot of people believe this will be one of the busiest midterm elections ever. And WTOV9, News 9 will be everywhere you go and bring you all the results of all the races, levy ballots, bond issues, anything and everything. We're going to be there, Coach.
Buchtel's basically in a 4-2 defense, and their OBs walk up, so sometimes it looks like a 6-2 defense.
Crawford, nothing doing on that one. Actually, a loss of a couple of yards. Coming in quickly, Jacobs there, number 28, along with Keene, number 2, on the stop.
Tay got to double up, you know, when you, what we call in trouble double. You know, when he's getting that much, getting tackled like that, he got to double that ball up.
Koski bounces on the right side.
Wide
Clayton
open.
Chris
He's open.
downfield. Arlesic with a catch at the 25. Down to the 15-yard line. Huge gain from Clayton Chris to Ty Arlesic with a big reception, and they're down to the 15-yard line. Big Red on the move.
Yep, that was just a power pass, right? Play action pass, power pass, and they let the tight end slip by.
Handoff, Crawford. Bounces to the outside. Foster there making the stop, number 13. Good read by Foster as he comes through.
Foster got through the backside and just ran down the line. I think if Foster didn't make that play, that might have went.
2nd down and 11. 2nd down and 12 officially from the 17-yard line. Ryan Roush will split to the far side of the field.
Big Red has 3 running backs.
Stack guy. Koski will move out of the eye. Bounces over on the right side.
Play action again.
Chris
He's open again.
And nobody home on that one.
I think Clayton was expecting the tight end to run like a sail route, which is, you know, down the field vertical for about 10 and head towards the edge. But the tight end just ran vertical.
Clayton Chris will check out of the ball game. Randy Mitchell will check back in on 3rd and 12 from the 17-yard line. So Jones and Duggan split to the far side. Stone and Roush to the near side.
Got a little wildcat going here. They got them outnumbered to the field here. They got them outnumbered. Quarterback stretch to the field.
Crawford with a block. Mitchell cuts it back, and not much. Leans ahead to about the 15-yard line.
Buchtel's defensive speed covered that up well.
Steubenville Big Red will attempt a field goal.
Buchtel has to be ready for a fake here with this big of a lead.
Ball will be spotted at the 22-yard line. Ian Phillips on to attempt the field goal. Clayton Chris to snap.
They don't look like they're covering either the tight end or the wing here.
Snap is good. Kick is up. It is good.
Yes, nice job. Nice job.
23-7. Big Red, 2nd quarter. And welcome back to Harding Stadium. Bill Phillips along with the coach, Anthony Pirro. Coach, how big is that to get points out of that? Not the touchdown, but again, you go up. You're up 2 scores plus.
Yes,
so it's a 3-score game again.
Getting points on the board, if it's 3, if it's 6, if it's 7, is always a positive. Actually, Buchtel, in my opinion, got lucky. You know what I mean? They went for it on 4th down. They gave Big Red the ball in great field position. You know, Big Red came up with 3. To Big Red, that's a victory. To Buchtel, I feel that they're lucky that it was only 3.
32-yard field goal makes it a 23-7 game on the Border Supporter score bar. 4:28 to go in the first half. Ian Phillips to kick off for Big Red, and he will send that one down to about the 15-yard line, taken there by Wiley. And Wiley to the far side. Well, it's going to be hit. He's out to the 40-yard line before he is stopped. Flag on the play.
Right.
And this one looks like it's going to come back. Holding against Akron Buchtel, and it's one of those spirit killers, Coach. You get a big return, but then it comes all the way back, and that's going to be half the distance, I believe, depending on where the hold is called.
You know, on a kickoff, you can't hold some. You're out in space. You know, you might be able to get away with holding in the trenches where there's people all around you and it's all crowded, but out in space, you can't. Once you feel that jersey starting to pull, you got to let go.
Ball will be spotted at the 20-yard line, so 20 yards of field position given up by Akron Buchtel on the penalty call as Powers checks in. Chase Powers checks in over to the far side of the field. Martavian Johnson He is split out. They actually stack the receivers on both sides of the field, Coach, as Leno is going to keep, and he's got nothing going on. And from behind, Quadri Williams takes him down. And the motor on Quadri Williams never stops.
Listen,
He's just not going to outrun him.
That play was done by Blackwell on the front side. He bent the edge. You see him up front, which made him slow down, which allowed Quadri to get him from the backside. Them two guys are players. Blackwell and Quadri are players. Athletes versus athletes. You know, you got to be able to run to play defense. There's no place out there for anybody slow.
You like the matchup there. Marquess Jacobs, 6'5", 295 against Josiah Blackwell. And the ball's on the ground. Big Red has it. Big Red
Yes,
first and 10 incomplete.
Did he flip it forward?
We'll have to take a look at that. Here we go, Coach.
Yeah, he flipped it forward. That's like a shuffle pass.
Not by much.
Yeah.
And it looks like Eric Lula may be shaken up.
That's like a shuffle pass, you know. It's not a fumble, it's an incomplete pass. I wish they would change that rule. If you do that behind the line of scrimmage, it should be loose ball. Buchtel didn't look too comfortable going left.
No. Third down and long now for Buchtel. They'll split three receivers. They'll split Powers, Johnson, and Wiley to the near side. And Leno will go that way. Blackwell from behind. Leno steps out, but there's Quadri Williams to take him down. So that they combine the defensive ends, and it'll bring up 4th and long.
The veterans show up on big games, boy. Blackwell had heat on him right now. Quadri cleaned up the mess from a nose guard position, which isn't easy because he's usually getting doubled up.
Coach, I've heard you say this before. Big-time players make big-time plays in big games.
That's right. Real players show up in big games. You know, everybody can play good against somebody average, but in big games against somebody good, the real players shine. They stick out like a sore thumb.
And we have a delay of game penalty that's going to go against Akron Buchtel. And I'm not sure what the confusion was. They were out on the field. They just didn't want to.
With this lead, if I'm Brother Joe, I'm going after this ball. I'm not.
Now they called the timeout, so no penalty against Akron Buchtel. And defensive coordinator Todd Phillips will head out to the Big Red huddle and talk things over. Ethan Duggan, the only one not being spoken to. He's the deep guy out on his island.
Right. If I'm telling Ethan, you know, Matt Bellardine was the best at that. He never let a ball hit.
Quick timeout. We're back with more right after this.
The case led me to a service garage at the top of the hill in Steubenville. The question still reeling in my head. How can a used car seem so new?
Got some explaining to do, mister. There are no wheels on this here vehicle.
We pull the wheels off every vehicle, clean the inside of the wheel, and replace the tires if necessary so that we can pass state inspection.
What's that mean they're spraying on it then?
Kerosene removes years of wax buildup, tar, and road grime before the bumping process.
There's no seats in any of these vehicles.
Because we guarantee not to leave any french fries behind.
Not one?
Not one.
Introducing the new WMC Breast Care Center at Weirton Medical Center, part of our new all-women's care wing. The WMC Breast Care Center is equipped with the most advanced technologies and cutting-edge treatments available today, with world-class physicians and nurses ready to guide you every step of the way from screenings to recovery. It's complete women's care, all in one convenient location. The new WMC Breast Care Center and all-women's care wing. For complete women's health, it's all right here.
A strong client relationship is built upon trust. The Monteverdi Group aspire to the 4 pillars of reliability, knowledge, empathy, and responsiveness. We define our role as advocates on behalf of businesses and families who require highly specialized financial and advisory services. Our services extend across the Ohio Valley from Wheeling, Steubenville, and even Pittsburgh. Today's challenging financial climate means that we create a personal financial plan tailored to your goals. The Monteverdi Group, helping clients grow, manage, and preserve wealth.
Want news, weather, and entertainment from New York? At 7 a.m., that's what the other station gives you, not us.
Just into the News 9 newsroom. New
On
video.
Fox 9, we're live and local at 7 a.m.
News 9 is everywhere this sunrise.
Get your morning ready with local news from overnight.
And if it's breaking news that's happening in your neighborhood, I'll take you there with live reports.
Plus, I'll have weather updates throughout the morning. It's a forecast that gets you morning ready.
Fox 9, live and local at 7 a.m.
So, Detective, to what do we owe the pleasure?
We're going to get to the bottom of this. What's that?
That is a 172-point inspection.
Well, all right. What is that then?
That is a 4-step bumping process.
Well, I would really like to see you explain this.
That is a no-fry zone.
And welcome back to the Borders and Borders Saturday Night Rivals, and that is the WMC scoreboard, and it's 23-7. Big Red on top with 2:44 to go in the second quarter of play. Bill Phillips along with Coach Anthony Pirro, and Dylan West stands at the goal line. Snap is good, and the kick is up and away. Short kick. Duggan will come up, and he gets hit before he has a chance to even field the ball. He is drilled. The ball bounces back to about the 29-yard line where it's recovered by Big Red. And Duggan has to be wondering what truck just hit me.
Right. Ethan should have been fair catching that ball.
I thought he was going to fair catch it. Never put the arm up.
He never put the arm up.
And that is Zaire Keene, who was looking to make a big hit right at the right time, except he got there a bit early, and that's going to go against Akron Buchtel. And Big Red with great field position. And Coach, I mean, you want to take advantage of every opportunity. You want to put the foot on the throat.
Yep.
And Big Red is given an opportunity by Buchtel making a mistake on that punt coverage.
Absolutely. Been there, done that, man. You want to just keep squeezing. You got them by the neck, choke them. Keep choking them.
1st and 10. We're going to get the runoff now, or not the runoff, but the mark-off for the penalty. So that'll set up Big Red at the 24-yard line of Akron Buchtel. 1st and 10 for Big Red.
Got plenty of time. Don't have to be in too big of a hurry. Let's move the chains. Let's get another point. Let's get some more points on the board.
Duggan in motion. Pitch back to Crawford. Looking for some running room. Leaning ahead for a yard, maybe 2. Not much. Buchtel has adjusted to that stretch play, Coach. It seems like they're not bending on the edge quite as much.
Right.
Clayton Chris rolls to the far side. Pressure, looks downfield, overshoots the intended receiver. Flag comes in, and we're going to have to wait and see. Really late flag from the line judge.
Right. That's either
ineligible downfield. I think is going to be the call.
A lot of times teams will run like either ors, and if you don't get the ball off real quick, it's up to the quarterback to either give it or throw it. If you don't get it off real quick, then the lineman will be downfield because they are run blocking. A lot of times the officials aren't good enough to catch that. This time they did.
Randy Mitchell checks in, number 7. And the officials discussing where that ball will be placed. Back at the 29-yard line, just inside the 30. 2:07 to go. First half of play. Big Red on top, 23-7. Duggan and Roush split to the far side of the field. Mitchell in a quarterback with Crawford on his left.
2 best athletes in the backfield.
Fake to Crawford. Mitchell is going to be spun down.
That was a true blue naked play. They actually did pull the backside. With Randy keeping it, was the play side tackle, hoping to draw that defensive end in, and then Randy keep it off the edge.
Credit Tyrone Tucker, number 54, with the stop defensively for Akron Buchtel, and on third. Now it's 3rd down.
They're leaving Mitchell at quarterback here. Him and Crawford in the backfield.
The 3rd down on the field mark. We got 4th down on the scoreboard. Duggan goes in motion. Fake, and Mitchell's going to step up, and he's going to get away, and he's got some running room.
He's got some running room.
And he's down to about the 30-yard line, and he picks up about 5 yards on the play, and the clock rolls, and that may be as important as anything else right now.
Absolutely.
Don't give Buchtel another chance with the ball.
Randy did a great job making the first couple of guys miss, but when you're playing a team with Buchtel's speed, they had a lot of guys closing in on it. Usually against normal teams, that would have been a huge play. But Buchtel got the speed to recover from it.
You've got 2 timeouts, Coach. Do you let this run all the way down and take a timeout and then make the play, or do you just try and get it off with, looks like they're going to go all the way down to.
Yeah, that's smart move. A smart move by Coach Reno right there. Make sure that they don't get the ball back.
Yep. So 44 seconds to go. It'll be 4th and 16 for Big Red from the 31-yard line of Akron Buchtel. Big Red leads it 23-7. And Coach, final moments of halves. You want to go in with momentum. You want to come out with momentum. How important is this 4th down play depending on what Big Red does with it?
This 4th down play, I just don't want to make anything happen that'll be a positive for Buchtel. You know, if they would start right here, they still would have to go 70 yards for a touchdown. You know, just make a nice positive play right here, and let's just get in there at halftime and regroup and you know, don't be too happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't want to turn the ball over here. Keep it safe, keep it sound.
Good look at Reno Suckach, head coach of Steubenville Big Red. Look at the defense of Akron Buchtel that has been on its heels the majority of this game. Right now, Clayton Chris into the ballgame. Randy Mitchell split to the outside. Roush will come in motion. Koski on a wing to the near side, and they'll all stand up and look over to the coaching staff and get the play.
Right, they wanted to see what Akron Buchtel was in.
Clayton Chris to throw, looking long, looking to Mitchell, and incomplete.
That was real close to pass interference. You know, the ball was in the air, and the defender in the corner pushed off of Randy. You know, I mean, they were pushing at each other, but, you know, you can't touch him when the ball's in the air. In high school, you can be very aggressive, but if the ball's in the air, you got to keep your hands off.
So Akron Buchtel will get it with 38 seconds, 38.6 seconds to go on the Bordas and Bordas scoreboard. 38-6. Or 38-6, I should say, in terms of time. 23-7, Big Red on top. Big Red looking to get a stop here to keep that advantage. Leno is going to set his trips out to the far side of the field.
Yeah, Buchtel looked a little confused right there.
Eric Lula back in the game. They swing it outside to Powers. Powers has some running room. Powers is going to be kept inbounds and short of 1st down yardage, and Buchtel has no timeouts.
Right. Powers should have just took the ball and ran out of bounds right there. He didn't know this. He didn't know the situation, because he could have just ran it out of bounds.
Split on the far. That's a motion penalty. Oh,
he spiked it.
Spiked it.
Yep. That receiver moved the same time that the ball moved, but the lineman didn't, so it looked like it was offsides.
Well, if they had noticed that Keene was out there all by himself, not coverage.
Right. That receiver that's way out there on top, he's not getting the ball. He's too far away. That corner should be playing inside him and off and see the pitcher.
Leno to throw. Blackwell gets a hit on the quarterback. Ball is up middle of the field and is incomplete. Clock runs down to 8 seconds left in the 1st half.
Josiah's playing hell, man. What's up, Joe? Blackwell's got his motor running tonight.
.8 seconds to go, Coach. We're putting an umbrella on this for if you're the defense.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be 3 safeties back there. Everybody's playing off, play deep. Rush 3, maybe 4. Everybody back off. So what if they catch it? Just don't let anything behind you.
Leno takes the snap, swings it
nice
outside.
Nice open field tackle by JJ.
Get punished for making that reception was number 13, Marquess Foster.
Yeah, Jonesy hit him first. Jonesy made a nice play. Or no, that was Randy, number 7. Randy.
And Foster shaken up on the play, slow to leave the field. as the two teams head to the locker room.
Randy's an old school hitter, man. He hits to hurt.
And Foster down on the field. They're calling for the trainer for Buchtel. We'll back with more right after this. And welcome to halftime, everybody. Big Red on top of Akron Buchtel after one half of play by a score of 23-7. Right now, it is our pleasure to introduce you to the Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Steubenville Big Red's Ian Phillips has his sights set on the future, hoping to become like his dad, Bill. You may know him from News 9 Sunrise, Midday, or Sports Friday. Now Ian is hoping to follow in Dad's footsteps.
I want to get into communications basically because of my dad. He has a big impact on my life and in my future. I've seen what he does on the news. I've also seen other people that I know very well do great things on the news, and I think I'd be good at it with being around him and the atmosphere and the environment of what he does.
Seeing his dad hard at work has shown Ian that becoming a journalist takes a lot of hard work. And the senior kicker is always ready for a challenge, whether it's becoming the Key Club president or being ready to kick a game-winning field goal.
I'll tell you, as a student, he's second to none, but as a leader, I've been one of the best I've had in years, and I've had some good ones over the years.
Not only does Ian balance his activities and schoolwork with football, he also plays soccer in the fall. As a two-sport athlete in one season, Ian managed his responsibilities very well.
I think he has the work ethic to be anything he wants to be, and if he wants to be a journalist, he just has to make sure he picks the right school and the right area to deal in.
Steubenville Big Red's Ian Phillips, the WMC Tri-State Medical Network Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Congratulations to Ian Phillips, our Scholar Athlete of the Week. Right now, let's take a look at the first half. How did we get to 23-7? Akron Buchtel and Big Red, first round of the postseason. And here we go with the Wendy's highlights. And that is Tavion Crawford. He's going to go in from 5 yards out, 7-0. Big Red on top. That was their first possession. Randy Mitchell converted a big third down late in that drive. And then Crawford here, he's going to go the distance, hurdles a tackler, and goes into the end zone for the touchdown. And it's 14-0. That's a 48-yard touchdown run, and it's 14-0. Then Crawford again, the hat trick in the first half, 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. 20-0. Extra point was blocked. Then Michael Leno to Marquess Foster. Caught, breaks the plane, 20-7. And then Ian Phillips would add a 32-yard field goal, and that's how we get to 23-7 after one half of play. We'll be back with the second half right after this.
The Bordas and Bordas Saturday Night Rivals on WTOV9 is brought to you by Bordas and Bordas, Window World, WMC Tri-State Medical Network, West Virginia Northern Community College, Ohio River Honda Dealers, The Highlands, and Wendy's.
And welcome back. Bordas and Bordas Saturday Night Rivals presented by WTOV9. It is Steubenville Big Red 23, Akron Buchtel 7, and Coach, back at the beginning of the game, before anybody did anything, they had a coin toss. Big Red deferred, so they kicked off to start the game. They will get the ball to start the second half. How big is this drive?
Well, this drive's going to set a little bit of the tempo for the second half, you know, but the way Big Red's playing, I think that everything's going to be okay. You know, they started the game off letting the defense setting the tempo, and the defense has set the tempo the whole game, really. They presented big-time problems to Buchtel.
You've been in locker rooms, both sides of the scoreboard during the playoffs. How do you keep your guys focused? How do you keep them from getting too down the road?
The playoffs are crazy. You know, it's a roller coaster. You know, both teams are good. That's why they're here. You know, so the game's going to, you know, go one way, then the second half it's going to go the other way. You know, the playoffs is crazy. You just got to keep playing, one play at a time.
Well, the next play is going to be a kickoff from Akron Buchtel. Back deep.
Look how they get the ball set. Oh, it fell over. I thought he was kicking it off the ground.
I was wondering, that's going to be an interesting kick.
Yeah, I thought they were squibbing it.
Josiah McCann will kick off number 19. Back deep, Ethan Duggan and Joe Brown for Big Red. They'll stand at about their 10-yard line. McCann gets into one, high end-over-end kick. Duggan will take it at the 10-yard middle of the field. Has some blockers, has some running room, and spins out to about the 29-yard line, and Big Red will take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line to begin the second half of play. Now, Coach Crawford, all day long in the first half, do you expect more of him, or do you expect maybe Big Red to come out and put it up in the air a little bit?
I would give him the ball as many times as I could possibly give him the ball. He's a strong kid. He's a horse. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Koski goes in motion, Tuttle at fullback, handoff. Crawford has some running room, bounces to the outside, sheds a tackler, and leans out close to the 33. And Coach, he was that close, that close to breaking it.
He was one little tackle away from going about 60 yards. Buchtel's kind of, there was nobody over top of that. They were like in a do or die type of situation there.
Great thing about the run game, that clock keeps moving.
Yep. You know, as a defensive coordinator, you know, you want to stop a team from running the ball.
And this time, nothing doing. Coming in quickly is Orell Williams, number 3, and he blows the play up in the backfield and to bring up 2nd down or 3rd down and long now for Steubenville Big Red. And good news to report for Akron Buchtel, Marquest Foster, number 13, who was banged up at the end of the first half, had to leave the field with some assistance. He is back in the ball game, so that is good news that he is healthy enough to be back in.
I think he had the wind knocked out of him. Randy Mitchell put a nice shoulder right in his belly.
Biacco goes in motion. Randy Mitchell's going to take Randy Mitchell into the secondary for a couple of yards, and it'll bring up 4th down and a long 7. Punting unit is going in.
Well, Buchtel came out and did something they couldn't do the first half. They 3'd and out him.
Ian Phillips on to punt. He'll set up at his own 20-yard line. Back deep is Martavian Johnson, number 7. He stands at about the 40-yard line for Akron Buchtel. Phillips gets it away. And that goes right up the elevator shaft.
Yes. Maybe it might hit a Buchtel guy. Yes, that looked like Ian was aiming at or something. I think the last time we punted, I'd seen him saying something to Ian about, you know, you don't want to aim it. It's hard to aim. Just kick it.
23-7. We're back with more from Harding Stadium right after this.
You know, that was 3 and out. This is playoffs. This is what happens.
Welcome back to the Bordas and Bordas Saturday Night Rivals, and that's the WMC Saturday Night Rivals scoreboard. Big Red on top 23-7, but Buchtel has the football at the Big Red 46-yard line after 3 and out for Big Red. That's on the ground. It is incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for Akron Buchtel. And Coach, you're talking about as we came back, just kind of the flow of the game, and you come back after the half and you don't get anything going offensively.
Right. You know, it's not exactly what you want from Big Red. You know, a 3 and out on offense, you know, and a poor punt. That's not a good thing, but we did start off on 1st down pretty decently.
Outside it goes, and that is Johnson. And he's going to have 1st down yardage before he goes out of bounds.
Shoo.
And
I figure Buchtel was hurting them the first half with this. The corner.
How do you go about stopping this, Coach? The short passing game.
Well, you got to, you know, the short passing game's all off Big Red blitzing, so you got to bluff them now and then. You know what I mean? Make it look like you're blitzing because Big Red's not taking linebackers out of the box. You know, so they got to just show it, get out of it, mix it up on him.
Leno to throw. Leno pressure, and that's Quadri Williams. And he wraps him up, also getting there. Number 62 for Big Red. Keith Bodner, number 62, also getting a piece of that. But Quadri Williams gets to the quarterback, and that's going to push them back to the 36-yard line. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
That was a great play by Quadri right there. They can't block him. Quadri's quick hands, quick feet, and he's got a heart that pounds.
Second down and 15 from the 36-yard line. Lula showing blitz off the side. He comes, steps up. Leno down the middle of the field, and it is caught at the 3-yard line by Johnson. Martavian Johnson makes the catch. 1st and 10 at the 3.
Buchtel hurries up. They're going right up to the line of scrimmage. Big Red can't pout. Matter of fact, it might not be a bad timeout right here. Gather yourself.
Leno takes the shotgun snap, and he is going to lean for the goal line, and he won't get there. Short.
Big Red players are pointing like they fumbled it. I figured down in here they were going to let the horse run it. I mean, he's about 2 1/4.
Bodner came up with the football. He says we recovered.
He runs high. Hit him. Put your face on the ball.
Leno's going to keep, and he'll get into the end zone.
That should be a penalty. They were aiding the runner. The running back came up behind him and shoved him.
And that is a touchdown for Akron Buchtel. Leno gets into the end zone on the short keeper.
Did they call touchdown?
I believe the side judge came in and signaled Dylan West is on to attempt the extra point.
The back judge should have called. You're not allowed to do what they did. The running back came up from behind and shoved the quarterback. That's aiding the runner. That's illegal.
Leno TD run. Dylan West on to attempt the extra point. The hold from Tommy Dees. Snap is down, and that is blocked. Josiah Blackwell came through and just blew that up.
Good job, Black.
And it's 23-13, and it'll be a 10-point game as we go to break here in the third quarter. Akron Buchtel off to a good second half start. Big Red trying to find themselves. And we are back for our Bordas and Bordas Saturday Night Rivals. And it's WMC Saturday Night Rivals scoreboard featuring Steubenville Big Red and Akron Buchtel. And Big Red leads at 23-13. Buchtel cutting into that lead with a touchdown by quarterback Michael Leno on a quarterback keeper. And it is now a 10-point ball game with 8:21 to go here in the third quarter of play. Low kick is going to come down. Ryan Roush will field it at the 18-yard line. Looking for the picket fence. Might have a bit of a picket fence. Out across the 30, and he'll be down at the 35-yard line. Good return from Ryan Roush. I think
that was a good return from Roush.
Coach,
that ball was hard to handle.
Here's a look at the play going into the end zone.
Yeah, see 3 coming behind the quarterback, shoving him. That's illegal. That's called aiding the runner. That should have been called.
No call. Goes as a touchdown, and Big Red blocks the extra point, so it stays a 10-point game. 2-score game as Clayton Chris calls out the play in the huddle for Big Red as they face the 1st and 10 from their own 35.
Big Red has to move the chains a little bit. Little counter tray there. I thought the ball came out.
First half, Big Red rushing 165 yards, passing 35 for a total of 200 yards. Buchtel negative 25 yards rushing, 109 through the air, so 74 total.
Buchtel's getting after it on defense. They're swarming. They're presenting some heat. They're moving some gaps. Big Red might have to just run right at him. Don't pull anybody. Just gap it down and let's go.
Duggan comes in motion. Chris the throw. Throws it outside. Caught by Koski. And he runs over a man, and he is out close to first down yardage at the 43-yard line.
That was a good catch by Nico. He caught, you know, it's hard to catch that flat route down low by your knees and ankles, but he caught it and gained some yards afterwards.
Nico Koski, Jr., 5'10", 225 pounds, fullback, defensive tackle, and a man with some good hands.
Yep. Nico's a good baseball player. He's got good hands. He works hard in the weight room. He comes into that cafeteria every day sweating.
Stack guy Crawford with running room, and he'll have the first down, and he's out close to midfield. That's what the doctor ordered for Steubenville Big Red. And
yes,
can you
move the chains.
Because Crawford had so much success in the first half, Coach, can you take that aggressiveness from Buchtel away with passes like that to Koski or to Tuttle?
Well, they were presenting any type of flat pass versus the pressure that Buchtel was stopping them with. It should be open, and it was, because they were blitzing the flat defenders.
Hand off Crawford right up the middle. Coach, you were looking for that, and it's a success on first down. You get 4 yards on first down. That's a win.
That's it. Go right at them. Don't let their speed be a factor. How do you attack speed? Go right at speed. You can't run away from it. It's too fast.
Stack eye once again for Big Red as you take a look right down the middle of the field at Tavion Crawford, who's wiping his hands off. Koski goes in motion, pitch to Crawford to the outside, has a hole, and he gets hit, spins ahead, and he has first down out near the 40-yard line. And that is just great second effort, Coach.
Strong. He's like his grandpa. He's got good, strong thighs and butt. Strong.
Tuttle gets a block out
right
front.
there. Most players would be down right there on that first hit, but he spun off of it and gained 3 more yards.
How much is that want to from a running back?
It's all about want to. It's all about want to. It's about leaning forward. You always want to finish forward.
Crawford looking to finish forward here, but he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage and pushed back. Leading the charge there, number 55 for Akron Buchtel, Ricky Good, number 55, along with Tyrone Tucker, number 54.
As a running back, you want to be the one delivering the violence, the pain. You know, you may get tackled, but you want to win that hit.
You think of the great running backs in the history of football. They did.
Oh, yes.
Second down and 10, clock moving, inside 5:40 to play now in the third quarter. Pitch to Crawford to the far side of the field, gets a back, cuts back, and he is close to 8 big yards on that run as he looked to cut back and did.
This is what,
and we've got some, it looks like an injured
number 3.
Two players may be shaken up on the play. Number 3 is down, and that is Orell Williams, who has played very well defensively tonight. As we take a look here, he gets blocked, tries to get back in the play, and I think he may have just gotten shoved into the pile and caught from behind.
A lot of times that happens in them piles. You know, you don't get bent different ways. Bodies are flying. You know, Big Red started the game off with this type of offense, pitching it, getting them outflanking them, kicking the edge out and hitting that seam. And Crawford made a nice cutback right there.
Orell Williams right now slow to get up. Fortunately, as the trainer out there, Big Red's trainers and doctors are heading out to the field as well.
Well,
as he's slow to get up now,
he's their starting defensive end. So watch what, you know, Coach Joe's no dummy. He's probably going to attack his backup because you got to put a backup in for him. So you might as well get after his backup, who I think their backup there at defensive end for.
Coach, before we get to the backup, we've got a great matchup on Sunday night, just like tonight's matchup. The Packers and the Patriots, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Coverage starts at 7 o'clock. If you like to see some quarterbacks play, there you go. Maybe two of the best ever.
I would hate to have to defend either one of those guys.
Koski in motion, Tuttle the fullback. Crawford takes the handoff right up the middle. He's got the first down and across the 30, and a flag comes in, a face mask, and that's a good call. Number 8, Aaron Spooney. Just at the end of the drive, no particular reason why, but just grabbed the face mask, didn't let it go.
Yeah, it's probably a 5-yarder. If you watched right when the play started, Big Red is controlling the line of scrimmage. The line of scrimmage moved. It moved like 2 yards.
Johnson.
Oh, it was a 15er.
He never let go of it, Coach. Take a look there at Clayton Chris running the offense. Talk about that offensive line. Brown, Ware, Gabrielli, Boley, Holmes. They've owned the line of scrimmage, as you mentioned, Coach.
Yo, I'm telling you, they're moving it. They're coming off the ball, and they're moving it.
Koski in a wing on the near side.
Power.
Handoff goes to Crawford.
Another
Crawford
nice
with
hole.
his power. Down to the 10-yard line.
Another nice hole. They caved the edge in, kicked out everybody blocked down. They kicked the edge out and let it up through it. They had that hole there.
Big Red up 10. Looking to go up 17. This is where
they're on unbounds. Big Red's unbounds to the left.
They'll run that way. Here comes Crawford. Looks to bounce it to the outside. Too much speed for Buchtel as he gets outside and down inside the 10-yard line. Goes out of bounds near the 6.
Yeah, that play was designed to go inside, but Tavion just bounced it out. This is a big down right here, 3rd and 2.
Looking at the defensive backs, Leno, I should say.
Power football right there.
And there is Tuttle into the end end zone. Touchdown, Big Red.
That was just plain old wedge. That was nobody blocking. Everybody's just wedging on the guard, shove it down their throats.
Big Red, David Tuttle, 6-yard touchdown run. And Big Red goes up 29-13. Ian Phillips on to attempt the extra point. Clayton Chris will snap. Ethan Duggan will hold. Now, the last extra point attempt, it was blocked.
I forget where that guy came through, like a B gap or something like that. Can't take a break.
Snap is good, and it's a fake. And Duggan looking to throw. Everybody covered. Throws it to the corner, and he has a man. 2-point conversion. And that is Koski, Nico Koski, the big man. We talked about the hands,
yes,
Coach, and he wraps it up for the 2-point conversion. Great patience from Duggan because it looked like no one was open,
right,
and he broke open late.
And I think the DB left him because he thought Duggan was going to run with it, and then ended up leaving Nico wide open.
I think he set a record, though, going from catching the pass in the corner of the end zone to sitting down on the bench and getting the helmet off.
Did he sprint over that?
I guess so.
Well, he's just doing what he's told.
That's right. And Big Red goes up 31-13 with 4:09 to go in the third quarter. And as you like to say, Brother Joe talking to the special teams.
That's it.
Giving them instructions. And there's a look at it. Make sure he gets not just one, but both feet down.
Yep.
Gets the celebration. Here he goes. He gets hit by everybody and hands the ball off. Hit me some more. Give me some love. I'm going to head to the sideline. Ian Phillips to kick it off. He'll set it up at the 40-yard line. Ian's mom may have told me today that she would really like to see them do well and not have to worry about anything.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's what she wanted.
Yeah. Well, she's sort of getting that.
A little bit.
You know, happy mom.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing better than a happy mom.
Ball's going to come down to the 20-yard line. 18-yard line is where it's fielded. And Johnson has some running room. It's going to go out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Good return there.
That's on Big Red. That's on Big Red. They were hitting it way out of bounds there.
Someone's down on the field.
This guy right here, whoever that is.
Take a look at what happened. Personal foul, Big Red. So that'll be 15 more. Coach, it's one of those ones. How maddening is that for a coach when you go up 31-13, you get a big score, big drive, and then boom, here's 15 free yards in the middle of the field. How frustrating is that for the coach?
It's frustrating, but you can't. You just got to, okay, what's the next play? Forget about it. It's over. Let's go.
Michael Leno, number 5 at quarterback. He's going to call Keene over, and they set up in a bunch of receivers.
Right. Big Red handled it well. They checked bunch right there.
Here comes swing pass out to Powers, and he's going to be taken down immediately. Jorian Jones with a great open field tackle as he comes through and makes a play. He recognized that right away.
Jonesy's job when he was lined up on top of that triangle was to smash that guy to screw up the routes. But what's nice is you really don't have any pass responsibility, so you kind of just hang around. So he got off that block real good. Got to run them feet on contact a little bit, but he did a nice job.
Foster split way to the far side of the field. Near side trips. Powers, Johnson, and Keene. And here comes the blitz from Big Red. And Tuttle is going to get there. Quadri Williams is going to get there. Bodner's going to get there. Everybody's going to get there. And Big Red is collecting parts of Michael Leno all over Harding Stadium.
Blackwell caused that. It's what you call your defensive end's going to what we call peel. The back flared out, and Blackwell is coached by Coach Danny Phillips to peel with that. So in other words, you break off and you run with that. He wanted to hit that flare, but Blackwell was there. If he would have thrown it, Blackwell probably would have intercepted it.
Keene and Johnson to the near side, far side, Foster and Powers. Leno in the shotgun. He's got the swing pass open and plenty of room to run for Foster, but he's going to be taken down. Coming up, making a nice open field tackle. I believe it was Dylan Cunningham, number 43, and Foster, who's shaken up at the end of the first half, is shaken up on the far side of the field again. Dylan Cunningham, one of those players for Big Red Coach. He may not be the star of the defense, but he just goes along and plays solid football all season long.
DC's he's a great kid, man. Like I said, I think against New Philly, he's a program player. He's one of them kids that has paid the price. He kept hanging in there and hanging in there. He knows exactly what to do. He's at every practice. He's accountable. He will be successful in this world.
Absolutely. We've known him since some Little League days.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, what are you telling Big Red's defense if you're in that defensive huddle? It's 4th down, maybe setting up for a punt. Or at this point, are we looking for a fake?
I'm playing defense right here. Let them punt it. I'm playing defense. Let it go. I'm playing defense.
And it looks like Akron Buchtel is going to play offense. Leno in the shotgun. Keene will come across the field to join Johnson. Martavian Johnson, number 7, has had himself a nice ball game offensively. Split to the far side. That's Powers and I believe Wiley as Leno takes the snap. Back to pass, gets some pressure to the outside. Johnson running down the field, open, got turned around. He was open, and if he had turned the other way, or if Leno puts that on the other side, that could have been a big, big play. But woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Right, no ifs. That was a good job. Get off the field.
So Big Red will take over with good field position at the 46-yard line of Akron, or their own 46-yard line. See, I'm used to going to the NFL press box, and basically, if it's past that line of scrimmage, it's the next line of scrimmage that they give them credit for. So it's just past the 45. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because you'll look every once in a while, that's closer to the 45 than it is the 44.
Line, they go to the
next line.
They round it up.
Yep. Clayton Chris rolling. And he took a shot. And he is going to be down for a bit.
Clayton will get up.
He'll tough kid.
Clayton will get up.
He took a shot right in the breadbasket, though. That's going to knock the air out of you. Tough young man. Smart young man.
Yep.
Earlier this season, he's Scholar Athlete of the Week. And he bounces up, believe it or not. Most people would still be laying.
Oh, yeah.
Clayton
will
up.
Get up.
He's tough. 2nd down and 10. And handoff. Koski running over. Larry Zonka has showed up at Harding Stadium.
There's them big, strong legs Nico has. That kid hit him right across the thigh pad. Nico just bounced right off of him.
Nico may watch this replay and say, who's Larry Zonka?
Probably.
And then if he watches himself and Larry Zonka, okay, I get it.
Yeah, probably.
Just shedding tacklers. The forearm shiver. Great run from Koski. Outstanding. 3rd down and short. Koski's going to split in the wing to the far side. Tuttle, fullback, handoff Tuttle. He'll spin and just have enough for the 1st down, but he gets it.
The bigger was unbalanced right there and just ran wedge to the right.
You know what? You talk about a program player, DC. Clayton Chris,
program player.
One of those kids that's been here all the practices. Just keeps working and grinding and grinding. Long snapper last year. Just any way he could get on the field and help the team.
He's been the scout team quarterback since he's been the sophomore. And he just kept working, kept getting better, knows the program, knows the system, and runs the show well.
Koski again. Goes for about 12 yards and is just punishing the secondary of Akron Buchtel.
They're running Coach Reno's favorite play, dive. Good old-fashioned dive. He almost fired me one year. Being Coach Redark was arguing over where this dive was supposed to hit. It ended up right on the guard's butt.
On the tackle, that was Aaron Spooney, and right now he is struggling in the defensive backfield. Looks like he's a little bit shaken up, but he stays in as Ethan Duggan goes in motion. Handoff Koski again.
Right.
And Spooney's going to come up and put his helmet in there, and Koski's still going. And he's finally knocked to the ground, but he picks up about 6 yards. And that is a big win on first down as the clock now inside of a minute. And it could run out before this thing gets set.
Just a good old-fashioned hard-nosed football right here.
Yep. Big Red will have to run one more play in the third quarter.
When a team's doing this to you, there's not a whole lot you can do to fix it.
Late substitution. Jaren Tatum comes in, number 77, along the defensive line as Josiah Blackwell is just...
Blackwell isn't as big as Crawford, but he runs just as hard as Crawford.
And we're going to have the clock stop so they can set the chains, or they're going to have a measurement. Nope, first down, Big Red. When they...
I like that. I like that. Blackwell come off the field. Who's the first two guys coming, slap him down? Crawford and Randy. They come slap him, give him some love.
Well, right now, Big Red giving their fans a lot of love as they lead at 31-13, heading to the fourth quarter. It's the Bordas and Borders Saturday Night Rivals on the WMC Saturday Night Rivals scoreboard. Big Red 31-13 over Akron.
The Bordas and Borders Saturday Night Rivals on WTOV9 is brought to you by West Liberty University, Hancock County Auto, Ohio Valley Medical Center, and East Ohio Regional Hospital, and Casey and Chapman, attorneys at law.
And welcome back to the Bordas and Borders Saturday Night Rivals game presented by WTOV9. 12 minutes to play. Big Red in the first round of the playoffs taking on Akron Buchtel in a game that many believe is the best matchup of the weekend. And right now, Big Red in control as we head into the fourth quarter. 31-13 on the Bordas and Borders score bar. 12 minutes ago, I'm Bill Phillips along with the coach, Anthony Pirro. Handoff, Joe Brown, and getting in there quickly is that defensive end we talked about before, Coach.
Right.
Orel Williams, he left the game shortly. Came tough player. He looked like he dinged up his leg a little bit, but he's back in and making a play.
Yep, that was that counter trade play, and he dipped inside the blocker, just being an athlete.
Chris to throw. Lula down the middle. It's going to be picked off.
Uh-oh.
And on the return.
Uh-oh. Catch him. Get the ball. Get the ball.
That is Spooney. Spooney on the return. He slips down. It goes down
at the
25-yard line. Nobody gave up for Big Red.
No, Tuttle did a great job, man. He pursued that. I mean, that's an athlete running. And for them to hold that, to stopping them on the 25 is a plus. I know, you know, throwing that interception is not good, but that boy could have went to the house with that.
Take a look at the play here. Chris down the middle, and no one home except Spooney. And then take a look at the return. He's looking to set up blockers and does, and gets to the outside. Like you said, Coach, nobody quits on this one as Big Red comes back and keeps him out of the end zone.
14's coming to 14, did a nice job. Slow, even though he missed, he made him slow down.
Leno outside. Powers trips up.
Nice
open field tackle coming up quickly.
Mitchell just got to it's not a kill shot. I know if you feel like you want to kill him out there in the open space, you got to break down and just capture him and wait for help.
And Caleb Mitchell has been missing from the Big Red lineup because of a knee injury, and he is back. Haven't called his number tonight, but makes a big play there as he's inserted into the lineup. Second down and a long 10 for Akron Buchtel. Powers stopped. Mitchell there.
No problem.
How nice is that to be able to go to your bench? We'll take Caleb Mitchell, put him in the ballgame.
That's it. Caleb has been out there the whole game on defense. And he's been lining up to the receiver strength, to the three receiver side. They got JJ and Mitchell. Mitchell's got the third receiver. JJ's got two. The corners got one. You know, Big Red's done a great job stopping this quarterback. I mean,
third and long, swinging outside to Johnson. Mitchell there. He's going to trip him up. And coming up, Josiah Blackwell and Tuttle.
Look at Blackwell. He's flying around, man.
Fourth down and 5 for Akron Buchtel. You know, and Caleb Mitchell's one of those good kids.
Great kid.
It's just, you feel awful.
Great kid.
The knee injury, but he has worked. I've seen him work all season long to get back to be able to play in this postseason.
Yep. Mitchell's a good dude, man. He's a gentleman.
Yep. You know what? That's about, you know, as good a compliment as you can pay somebody.
Yep, he's a gentleman.
Well, Big Red here facing a 4th and 5 defensively. And, Coach, before we get to breaking down that play, let's take a look at what's going on. Mike Tomlin's show. Can't get enough of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Playing real well right now. Before you get your terrible towel swinging during the big game each week, you can get the latest news and updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers with head coach Mike Tomlin every Sunday on Fox 9 from 10:30 to 11 during the Mike Tomlin show. And of course, this week the Steelers playing the Baltimore Ravens in what is one of the marquee games anytime those teams meet. But Coach, 4th and 5, you're on defense. What are you doing to shut down Buchtel on this 4th down situation?
They definitely, you know, Buchtel's been successful just throwing the ball out there and getting some yards. So you got to tighten up the DBs. If they want to throw it, make them throw it out there. Make them throw it deep. All right. But I'm not going to give them what they've been marching down the field on, just throwing it out there to their athletes in space. I'm going to tighten it up. I'm at least going to bluff it and look like I'm tightening it up and bail out or something.
Tuttle all over the place, and he's going to come across the line of scrimmage.
Right, their receiver jumped off sides, and Lula, I don't know who they're going to call it on. It was kind of.
They're going to discuss it.
Yeah, it's tough who actually went off sides first. They're saying bigger.
My question is, if you're on one side of the field, the other side of the field, how are you watching both sides of the field to even discuss it?
Well, the line judge should be looking right down the neutral zone. Mm-hmm. and you know, and that's not an easy call. That one right there.
Well, an automatic first down.
That's probably why they discussed it.
First down for Akron Buchtel, 9:41 to go. No time. Leno taken down in the backfield. Tuttle finishes him off, but Bodner was there early. Whole defensive line came through. A holding penalty did nothing to stop the defensive penetration from Steubenville Big Red, and it'll be declined, apparently, is this initial signal to the official from head coach Reno Suckoch. And it is indeed declined. It'll bring up 2nd down and 15 now.
They got to watch for, they got to watch for the fade. The corners got to think one, when you're pressing somebody, they're either going to run a slant or a fade. They got to be thinking fade right here. Be aggressive with them.
Foster had the touchdown earlier in the game.
That could be where they're going, because the ball's really close to the middle of the field, so the fade could happen either side.
He was on the near side the first time. Will they go back to him on the far side? He is split up outside the numbers on the far side. Leno looks to set up a screen, and it's going to go nowhere. Knifing through and making the tackle. David Tuttle.
Tuttle sniffed that out good.
And he came in hard and taking the blow for Akron Buchtel, number 29, Robert Young-Jones, and he is shaken up on the play, but he gets up and heads back to the huddle under his own power, but he is slow to move around. They may want to check on him and take him out of the ball game because he is not moving.
Yeah, Tuttle hit him hard, man. Got him right on the thigh pad.
Foster and Powers.
Big down right here for Big Red. Big down.
Line up to the near side of the field. Leno to throw. Pressure. Tuttle, no time. Quadri Williams there. Tuttle there. Big Red all over the offensive backfield of Akron Buchtel as the clock continues to move. Down inside, 8:20 to go. And now it is 4th down and 20.
You see Buchtel's offensive linemen talking to each other. They're confused. They're confused. Sometimes the tackle and those are going out, and the linebackers are going blitz and A-gap, and sometimes it's the opposite way. Get them off the field. Big down. Biggest down of the game right here.
Keene and Johnson to the far side of the field. Foster and Powers to the near side. Williams in the backfield with Leno. He's going to get pressure. He doesn't have any time. Again. Josiah Blackwell and Bodner there. Blackwell's going to get the sack. Bodner was all over Leno. We're going to take a timeout. Big Red's got the football. 7:42 to go. Big Red up 31-13. Back with more after this. And welcome back to Harding Stadium, everybody. Bill Phillips along with the coach, Anthony Pirro, and Big Red has the football back as they lead it here in the 4th quarter, 31-13 with 7:42 to go as Clayton Chris fakes the pitch, inside handoff to Koski, and The modern version of Larry Zonka.
That's right. Big Red's defense did a great job right there. You know, they had an interception that got returned to the 25, and they made Buchtel's offense go backwards.
How big a play is that they didn't give up on that play? They kept them out of the end zone.
Yep.
It just we talk about want-to all the time.
That's it.
That's a full offensive want-to after a turnover.
Absolutely. That was the key. You know what I mean? Get them back in the huddle. Look at that offensive line is destroying them.
And nobody wants to come up and make a play anymore out of that secondary. They've been punished.
No, I think Buchtel's big boys inside are sucking air, and Big Red's offensive line is teeing off on them.
Clayton Chris calmly talking with the coaching staff, finding out what he's going to call, taking his time. And
that's it. Take your time. There's 20 seconds left. Use that play clock to the all the way. Don't be in no hurry. Time management.
That's one of the things young quarterbacks forget about. Let it run down. Arlesic goes in motion. Handoff.
Power.
And that is Joe Brown. Joe Brown, Jr.,
I wonder if
running back linebacker.
I wonder if Crawford is hurt or something. Maybe he's banged up a little bit.
He was in there on the last play with Koski. Maybe just getting him a rest.
Maybe the score's like this. Let's keep him on the shelf a little bit.
Not get him banged up.
Yep, true. End over formation here.
Duggan's going to go in motion. Everybody in the box for Buchtel, and it doesn't matter. Joe Brown in the secondary. Bounces outside. It's a foot race. 20, 15, 10, and down to the 5-yard line.
Big hole.
Joe Brown says, you don't need Tay.
No, Joe Brown's a football player.
I'll take it over right here.
There's some kids that really understand the game. And you know, you can say, you know, like you see him a day or two, you say he's a football player. Joe Brown's a football player. He knows the game.
Down to about the 6-yard line. They officially spotted at the 7-yard line. And Clayton Chris has the call, and he heads back into the huddle. Koski and Brown in the backfield. Handoff.
Just wedge.
Koski straight ahead. Power running down to about the 2.
That's it. Dive right. Wedge right. You don't need to trick them. You're winning the line of scrimmage.
Keontae Holmes.
Give the ball to Zonka.
Keontae Holmes gets up off the pile. I don't know if you saw it. He took his hands off the defensive player. He just kind of had him. Oh, I didn't mean to hit you. I won't push off you. I'll get up. But you know he's going to go up there next play and just slam into somebody. Joe Brown in the I formation with Koski. 2nd and goal at about the 3-yard line. Roush will go in motion. Hand off to the big man, Koski, and this time he's going to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Takes 4 of the Griffins to take him down. Clock continues to run inside of 5 minutes now. Big Red 4:44 away from reaching the 2nd round of the postseason, the defending Division IV state champions.
Yeah, Buchtel was just seeing this close-up of them in your hands. I love when I see the other team's hands on their hips.
Hands on their hips and yelling over to the sideline with hands up going, what's going on?
That equals tired. Hands on hips equals tired.
Tuttle leads Brown. Brown makes a man miss. Still on his feet.
He might be in.
It is close. Down to about the 2-yard line.
Joe Brown's running hard.
So bring up 4th down. And the clock continues to move, and the Big Red will stay on the field. Tuttle in the backfield.
They're going to dive left.
Tuttle.
Touchdown,
Big Red. And the thing is, just kick the field goal. You don't take a chance. You don't have a chance of getting it blocked.
Right.
You get the points. Worst case scenario, you give the ball back at the goal line. They got to go 99 yards.
Right. The defense is breathing. You got them right where you want them. Finish it.
The big men in the backfield showing up in the 2nd half. Koski and Tuttle. 37-13. Ian Phillips on to attempt the extra point. Clayton Chris to snap. Ethan Duggan to hold. Snap is good. Kick is up, and it is good.
Yeah, they blew it dead. I heard whistles early. Offsides. Offsides Buchtel.
Did they get the result of the play?
I think they just called blow it. They blew the whistle before the ball was snapped, so the play's dead.
Big Red will do it again. Clayton Chris to snap. Ian Phillips to attempt the extra point. Ethan Duggan in the hole. Snap good, spot down, kick is up, and the kick is good.
There we go.
And Big Red goes up by a score of 38-13. And welcome back to the Bordas and Bordas Saturday Night Rivals, WMC Saturday Night Rivals scoreboard. Big Red on top, 38-13, fourth quarter of play. 3:53 to go in the ball game. Ian Phillips about to kick it off. Big Red just grabbed another touchdown. David Tuttle going in from short yardage touchdown. The extra point was good, made it 38-13. And Big Red 3:53 away from heading to the second round of the postseason. Iowa over the kid comes down. Fumble ball on the ground, and
that'd been nice to get that one. I like 19 for Big Red. He come flying down there. Who is 19?
19, Draven Martineau.
Martino. I used to call him Martino. I used to say he was French.
Like the aggressiveness. Akron Buchtel. You know, they're not about to go away. They're not going to.
No.
So one thing that's happened, Akron Buchtel hasn't gone away all night. They've just been beaten up.
No, exactly. They've been beaten up the old-fashioned way, right in the trenches.
Yep. Swing it outside. Foster, number 13, and he is going to be drops the ball in the field. Big Red's going to have it. Big Red has it. They'll have it 1st and 10 going the other way at the 44-yard line. Foster is shaken up, and it looks like
he's up.
Dylan Cunningham is also slow to get up, but he's going to head off the field under his own power. He looks to be okay.
Not very often will you see a Big Red player stay on that ground.
Nope. Well, Coach, where do you go from here in terms of personnel? You've got this one in control. 3:30 to go. What are we looking to do? And it looks like we're going to have a few substitutions.
Yes, the second offense would be in there right now. 3:36 up like this. Get the second O in there. Just run nice, simple plays. Let's get out of here.
1st and 10. Isaiah McCartney, number 27. He takes the handoff from Cade Kernahan.
Isaiah ran the ball hard up in there.
And
it looks like that's what Big Red kind of did, huh? I think.
Yep. Coach, it'll be Big Red taking on Hubbard in the second round of the postseason.
Hubbard's a good quality team. What was that final? They played Indian Creek, right?
Don't have the final in front of me, but told that is
that's who it is.
That's who it's going to be. Isaiah McCartney again on second down, straight ahead, power football. And Coach, I just think we have the offensive line for Big Red.
Absolutely.
You mentioned the starters: Holmes, Boley, Gabrielli, Ware, Brown.
Did a great job.
Absolutely, and their backups have come in and just handled their business.
Big Red's front five on the offensive line. Offensive linemen never get too much credit. They actually probably don't even want it. They're usually shy, quiet guys that are tough as nails. And Big Red's offensive line destroyed the trenches today.
Ches Jennings in, number 68. Trying to get you some numbers along the offensive line for some of the guys that are in their backups. Eli Berge, 77. 52. Terrence Norris.
Norris's grandma, she works down Circle K down on Lincoln Avenue. She's a good lady.
Keon Montgomery, number 59 in the ball game at guard. Nico Bracone, number 12, split wide. He's into the ball game. And here comes Joe Brown. Joe Brown's going to have a first down and more.
Joe Brown.
Inside the 30-yard line, number 77. Eli Berge, I think I might have mentioned him before. 52, 66, 57. Did we get 57, Coach? Donovan Thornton, number 57. Donovan Thornton.
Thornton's a good dude.
He's a program player,
yes, sir.
senior.
Yes, sir. He don't say a word either. He just keeps fighting. He keeps battling.
And, Coach, the greatest formation any coach can see. Victory formation, it looks like. Or I thought he was going to be in victory formation.
Yeah, as deep as them backs were, huh?
All right, here we go. We're getting them lined up.
Yeah.
Nico Burcones, he's getting everyone lined up, make sure they're going the right place for the kneel down.
That's it.
And we have our play of the game coming up. And here it is. Tavion Crawford, 48 yards, the hurdle, the balance, the touchdown.
Nice.
That is the play of the game presented by Community Bank. Clock running inside a minute to go. Coach, in the final moments we have, Big Red as they prepare for week 2. Do you ratchet it up a notch again?
Well, Big Red, you know, we're not rookies being in the playoffs, you know. Actually, just getting to week 11 in your mind as a Big Red player is, okay, now our season's really starting, you know. So, you know, they know just to keep doing what they're doing, and, you know, Big Red practices hard every day. And, you know, just keep getting better, know your opponent.
The one thing you hear in the playoffs, and you hear it constantly, your next opponent, how good they're going to be. By the time you get to the game, they've been made into Godzilla.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have to remember, Big Red, well, they are Godzilla.
Right. That's probably what the other team's always thinking, you know, like, you know, Big Red's always in it. We're always battling.
Well, the 18th straight season that Big Red has been in the postseason, and it starts with a win over Akron Buchtel. The final score, 38-13. Big Red wins it to advance to the second round of the 2018 postseason. The defending state champions open the defense of their title with a playoff win. Overall, their record now 10-1. Big Red wins it 38-13. For the coach, Anthony Pirro, I'm Bill Phillips. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Good night.